They're calling it a sleeper issue. Men competing against women. Donald Trump today is doing this town hall centered on women. And Harris Faulkner asks the all-female audience, how many of you are concerned with men competing against women in sports? And nearly every woman raises her hand. I'm going to play this clip for you, and then I want to show you the response. Actually, before I play this clip for you, I want to show you this. This is a clip from the town hall. Listen to the crowd from Gunther Eagleman. Listen to the crowd go wild as Trump takes the stage for this town hall of women.
Of the United States, the Republican nominee for this year's presidential election, Donald J. Trump. Welcome.
The ladies, they love him. They love Trump. They actually don't. Trump's doing very poorly with women. So he is. Look, I know there's a lot of people who are going to say, that's not true, Tim. Women love Trump. There are many women who love Trump, but there are a lot of women who do not like him. And this is why Trump is doing this town hall, because he needs to improve among female voters and address their concerns. Now, this is really interesting. Donald Trump is addressing the transgender sports issue. And there's a woman who says she lives in Georgia, but she's from Brooklyn. This matters. Liberals are fleeing these cities and they're voting Republican. Now, the Wall Street Journal says transgender sports is a 2024 sleeper issue. Democratic Senators Brown, Tester, and Baldwin are all under fire for their votes. This is going to massively negatively impact Democrats because they keep doubling down on boys going in girls' bathrooms. And I got to tell you, actually, I don't got to tell you, ask any father who's got a daughter. Now, don't give me this Democrats are all about it, whatever. I mean, you go to the average guy walking down the street and say, you got a daughter? And he says, yeah, I got 2 daughters. How would you like some boys in the bathroom with them? He's going to be like, no way. Not going to happen. But let me play this clip for you. Charlie Kirk Scott, he says, this is what moral clarity looks like. Trump takes on the question. On
the ballot, how many of you are worried about biological men and boys competing against women and girls in sports? Just show me. That's almost the entire, that is the entire room.
The entire room.
I know you have a question.
I do.
By the way, excuse me, it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Your question, your name and your hometown.
My name is Linda, and I'm from Milton, Georgia.
Good.
But originally Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, wow.
All right, tell I like her.
My question is, how do you plan on addressing the transgender issue in women's sports? I have 9 grandchildren, 6 of them female, all playing sports, and we are very concerned for their safety, not just on the field and the courts, but in their locker rooms as well.
Right. It's such an easy question, and everybody in the room, and you know that answer, we're not going to let it happen. You look, just yesterday, they had a volleyball match. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Where a person that transitioned, okay? We have to be very careful because this can terminate your political career if you say it's slightly off, all right? But transitioned from man to female and was on a volleyball. And I saw the slam. It was a slam. I never saw a ball hit so hard. Hit the girl on the head. But other people, even in volleyball, they've been permanently, I mean, they've been really hurt badly, women playing men. But you don't have to do the volleyball. We stop it. We stop it. We absolutely stop it. You can't have it. It's a man playing in the game. I mean, physically, from a muscular standpoint, even if it was a little bit less, maybe they do all sorts of tests and drugs and everything else.
No.
Look at what's happened in swimming. Look at the records that are being broken.
So how do you stop it? Do you go to the sports leagues? Do you go to the Olympic
You just ban it. The president bans it. You just don't let it happen.
You know, look, I got to tell you, people love the idea that a strong man comes in and puts his fist down. But let me answer this question. I know Vivek Ramaswamy is going to be whispering in the ear of Donald Trump, and he knows better than me, and he'll give a way better answer. But let me break it down. It's actually quite simple. Title IX, the 1964 Civil Rights Act. This is an infringement of individuals' rights. Now, let's talk about, you know, Trump said, I don't know, maybe they do tests and there's drugs. No way. No way, my friends. Look, let me tell you, anybody who plays sports knows the difference. Women cannot compete at the same level as men in most sports. And look, call it sexist, call it bigoted. That's insane. OK, men on average, you don't need to come to me and say, well, some women are stronger. We know that. We know that a 6'5" woman is going to beat a 5' frail dude at basketball. Come on, no one's saying that. I'm saying on average, men have more muscle density, more fast twitch muscle fibers, more skin collagen. The hip, the Q angle, they call it, which is so the Q angle is due to the wideness of hips, how the femurs come down at an angle. For men, it's much less. For women, it's much more pronounced. For women, this increases the risk of ankle and knee and hip injuries. Yo, I just watched a skate video. I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling through the videos, and there's a woman trying to ollie. Ollie is skateboarding for jump. She tries to jump from something that's about 6 feet tall. When she lands, her legs are out and her center of gravity is in the middle and her knee buckles and you watch her knee snap. Dude, I got no beef. I hope she's okay. I want her to keep skating. But the reality is Q angle matters. There are all of these factors. When it comes to sports, no drug will change. You can't give a female testosterone and do anything about the hip ratio and the Q angle. That will be a male advantage no matter what. There are females with narrower hips. They're going to have an advantage too. And that's an argument we can make, that the left will make. My point is, because I'm willing to steel man any argument, the point is, when you combine all of these things, get out of there. So I'm not playing that. But look, the Wall Street Journal brings this up for a reason. It's a sleeper issue. They say, consider the ad running in Ohio against Senator Sherrod Brown, in which a narrator says Mr. Brown is too liberal for Ohio. He voted to let transgender biological men participate in women's sports. I'm done with this language, dude. Let me do it for you. Senator Sherrod Brown is too liberal for Ohio. He voted for men to compete against girls in sports. Yeah, come on, slow the language. We know the difference between a man and a boy, a woman and a girl, but that's the point. An 18-year-old man in college competing against women, just don't, transgender biological men, no. He voted to have men compete against women. Some media fact checkers are calling this false claim, but not without astounding sleight of hand. The ad, sponsored by the Republican Alliance Super PAC, cites Mr. Brown's vote against a failed 2020 amendment offered by Tommy Tuberville. When we pulled up his vote in the Senate, it says, we see it had nothing to do with allowing transgender people to participate in women's sports. It was actually only about money. Only money? Specifically, Brown voted against including an amendment in the American Rescue Plan Act that would have stripped federal funding from Ohio schools if those schools allowed trans people to participate in women's sports. Ergo, the ad's claim is false. Mr. Brown did not vote to let trans biological men participate in women's sports. PolitiFact is a similar sloppy mistake. Basically, he was they were threatening schools. You better do this or take your money from you. And he said, yeah, we should do that. And then they were like, no, he's not saying men should compete in women's sports. He's saying he's going to take their money away. PolitiFact, which is garbage, says he did not dictate the bill did not dictate athletic eligibility. Now, I don't care about the gist of it. I want to talk about where we are. Last year, 69% of Americans told Gallup that trans athletes should only be allowed to compete on sport teams that conform with their birth gender. It's not bigotry. For most Americans, it's a matter of fairness, as well as the equal opportunity for women in sports enshrined in Title IX. Not long ago, most Democrats believed in that principle. But these days, the hard edge of the trans movement has dictated that its view of gender must be imposed nationwide. Senate Democrats have towed that line. It includes whether minors should have access to medical. I'm just done with this sex changes. They're called sex changes. We're not doing this. George Carlin has this great bit where he's like, we used to say shell shock. It was simple. You would just shell shock. Now it's post-traumatic stress disorder. We keep making things more verbose. We don't need it. They want child sex changes. Okay, that's wrong. Mr. Brown's campaign, and okay, I know, I don't care about your morality. No, it's wrong because it doesn't work. Because desistance rates can be upwards of 90+%. So if a child is more likely to experience suicidality as trans, as opposed to a child who has a 90% chance, let's just be fair, 60 to 90% according to the studies, that means there is a greater risk of harm if you give the child a sex change. I'm not playing this game. They say this media conformity is one reason the trans sports issue is catching Democrats by surprise. The press portrays any dissent on the issue as out of political bounds and gives it no coverage. This means voters may hear about it only when a politician makes it a campaign issue, and it might cost Democrats control of Congress this year. Any suburban dad or mom, go to a suburban woman, knock on her door and say, we're campaigning to have high school boys in your daughter's bathroom. And she's going to go, excuse me? And then you say, is there a problem? You're not a bigot, are you? And she's going to be like, I will not vote for that. That's why the media is trying to cover it up. But you can only go so far with it. Donald Trump is here. He's calling it out. And that matters. and women are responding to it. I think this is a sleeper issue. It's clearly shocking to the conscience of your average person. It ain't going to fly. We'll see how this plays out. 20 days away, my friends. 20 days. Smash the like button, subscribe, share the show with everyone you know. We're back at 6 p.m. with more segments, and we'll see you all then.